In this activity, we will be setting up a local atom for a Windows installation. You will need your activity guide for section 4, and I will be demonstrating a Windows installation on a 64-bit system. Now, I recognize that different people will be on different setups, and we do have a lot of notes for different scenarios. So I will be demonstrating this one, and I think that you will find that your installation, even on a different setup, will look very similar. And just a quick note before we dive in, if you get this message at any point that you must be logged in as an administrator while installing this program, go to the download directory and right-click on the file that was downloaded and select Run as Administrator and then continue with the Setup Wizard. So I am looking at our activity guide and page 1, and we're going to open up the platform to get started. Under the Welcome tab and under Create, we can select Create an Atom. Now, my situation, because I have already used the available cloud atoms, I don't even have a cloud atom option here. The only setup I have at this point is to set up a local atom. So I'm going to select the 64-bit, which is my system, and I'm going to click Download Installer in just a second. There are two options to be able to install. So you can install the way that we will in the video using username and password. If you don't want to do that, you can download a temporary security token, which is generated with the installer that will allow you to install. And here you can specify the length of how long that token is valid. Then you'll simply need to use that token when you are logging in to the Atomsphere platform. So right now, I'll simply click Download and Save. And that download finished quickly, so I will simply click to run that download as an administrator. And right now you can see that it's progressing through the download of this small installation file. And now to complete the installation, we simply follow the steps in the wizard. So here's the option if you use the token where you would enter the token that was generated for you. In this case, we're using our username and password. And an atom name, let's give it a name that will make sense to us. So I'll call it local underscore atom underscore MXC for my initials. Below, if you need to configure any proxy settings, you can use this checkbox and configure your host, port, username, and password. Next, the installation authenticates my credentials and loads the available accounts for me. Now, because I am an instructor and have taught a number of classes, I have many accounts that are available to me. You will have a much smaller list. And at this point, you simply want to navigate to the account that you want to connect to. There's an important note on page 4. Some of you probably have numerous accounts, but this is important. Remember to select your training account for this class. That's the one that we want to connect to. Once you select your account, click Next. And the default destination is in your C drive with a Boomi Atomsphere folder, and underneath that would be your local atom install. Click Next. And by default, there will be a Start Menu folder created with the atom. Click Next to continue with the default options. The information in this window displays all the settings that are about to be applied, and you can quickly review, and if everything is correct, click Next to continue. The installer is now downloading the Atom files and configuring the installation. And once this process is complete, we will click Finish to complete the installation. Once the installer is finished, we can check back in the platform to see that our Atom was correctly set up. So you can go to Manage and then Atom Management. And you'll see that listed here is the local atom that I just created, and it is unattached to any environment. So it's called local underscore atom underscore MXC. So if I wanted to, I could quickly create an environment, call it local, and save. And attach my atom to that environment. And that atom will now be available for me for testing and running processes. And that's all there is to it. That's the very simple process of installing a local atom.